Welcome to the On-Track Napkin Quick Explainer video. I'm Greg Casser. I've worked with more than 350 business owners, and what I found was that everyone was trying to save and build their way to their retirement goals, but most of them were missing. And the reason why was not because they weren't working hard enough, not because they weren't smart enough, just because they weren't really applying the smartest methodology. So I've made this really simple, like so simple you can literally fit it on a napkin, or in this case, I'll spread it out into a couple of napkins. Let's talk our way through it. So we can say here the retirement math, so simple you can put it on a napkin, and most business owners never really run their numbers, and that's why they kind of like miss their targets. Let's now start with three numbers. These are just assumed numbers, but you need to fill in your own numbers here, and obviously not financial advice for the individual. This is just to work through for education. So in this case, your retirement number, 2 million. So we're saying, hey, between like superannuation, self-managed super, personal savings and investments, you've got $2 million. That's what you want in retirement. And your number obviously would be maybe different to that. And then how much have you got saved so far? So in this case, we've said, hey, we've got 500. And then if say, assuming we're 50 now, how many years does that give us left? And that gives us 15 years to kind of fix our math. So you can see right now we have a problem, but hopefully there's a solution. And as you'll see, there really is. Could we just save it? Could we just build it? You know what's interesting? This is what 99% of business owners are doing, and this is why most people fall short. If you look at our shortfall, remember we had that $1.5 million shortfall, and we've got 15 years here to do it. That's $100,000 a year. I don't know about you, but for a lot of people, it's hard to save $100,000 a year after tax, which is why most people fail with this. But there's a smarter option, so let's look at that now. What about if we put our money to work? What about if we take our $500,000 that we've got and we grow it to $2 million? Okay, so how much would we need to get it growing or compounding so that it ends up like an exponential growth in a year? And the answer is 9.7%. So if you started with $100,000, then it grows 9.7%. And then you've got a bigger amount of money that's compounding the next year. And obviously we need to protect the capital, but ultimately we need to get our money working for us rather than just us working for money over the long term. So this here now just is a quick visual representation of what we just spoke about, where we're starting with 500,000 and if we get it compounding at 9.7% a year, and then over the 15-year period, it ends up as our $2 million golden goose nest egg result. Originally, we talked about, hey, let's save our way there. And then we talked about, now let's get our money working for us. What about if we combine those two together? And instead of having to contribute $100,000 a year, what about if we now just contribute $25,000 a year in this example? Then what it means is that we've now got our money working for us, plus we're adding a little bit in. Instead of needing to achieve 9 and a bit percent, it's now only 7% that we need to achieve to be on track to turn our 500,000 into our 2 million over that hypothetical 15-year period. Obviously, we still want our money to really grow faster, so we don't want to slow down at this. The reality is, if we're doing this strategy, we may hit a bigger number and have a more comfortable and a more fun retirement. So here's just a quick visual representation of how that looks from 500 to 2 million by adding the 25,000 a year, and then we don't need as big a growth per year to get there. So hopefully this shows you like, hey, with what I'm doing, am I on track, or do I need to maybe play a smarter game to get on track and engineer this to happen? Hope you got good value from that and that it all makes sense. This next step's the first thing here, the video, that's this video, but there's going to be more videos in this series, so keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't done it, on businessinvestfreedom.com, there's a retirement calculator in there. So you can type in your exact numbers. You answer a couple of questions. It takes about 2 minutes, and then it'll literally spit you out a graph of how it predicts that where you're going to be by your desired retirement age and how that compares to your goal. It's very eye-opening, and you really will see whether you're on track. If you have any questions about this, or you want a hand to get on track, then just shoot me an email, info@collective.com.au, or if you want to chat, I'm at Greg Casser on Instagram. Hopefully this helps you to get on track. Have a great day.